We'll grab dinner tonight, all right?
Oh, perfect. What time?
I don't. You text me.
Oh, I can't.
I'll invent it.
I'm here to talk about whether it stuck the landing or whether you maybe should give it a miss. Let's jump in. To save Dreamland from Queen Dagmar's wicked rule, Bean must vanquish her mother and outrun a prophecy that foretells she will kill someone she loves. The stakes are as high as ever as our heroes face Satan, a headless corpse, an evil scientist, and most terrifying of all, their true destiny. All our favorite characters are back, and when I mean all, it feels like because they know this is the last season, they've brought back some of those characters you might not have expected to see back again. All the ones that we've seen along the way, even the really side characters, they've embraced everything that they loved about the show and put it all in. And it also finishes with a massive crescendo that I loved. It's like a 3-episode completion arc. The crescendo just keeps going up and up and up until the stakes are really high, and we get episode 8, 9 and 10 being 45 minutes long, really kind of giving a love letter to the fans that have been watching it the whole time and kind of embracing it for what it is, enjoying it, the fantasy version, not quite the Simpsons, not quite Futurama, but doing its own thing. And I, for one, have loved each season as we've had it. I think some have been stronger than the others. I think some are funnier than the others. And I think some in the storytelling have been better than the others. Personally, if I were to rank them, I actually think they get better with each season because they really found their footing. They embrace the fantasy setting. And so when you get characters like Bean interacting with her partner that she loves, and we see how it finished on season 4, we were wondering like how they were going to survive. The massive arc with her father, you know, going from a more hate relationship to a relationship where she ends up kind of fixing that broken relationship. That's great. All of those relationships and characters go on such a massive journey, a full arc as it were. And so in season 5 or part 5, I guess everything is up for grabs, and they really do play on that a lot. They don't wait around, even though there are kind of like side storylines. They all kind of work together to do the completionist of almost completing everything. And when there are things that are not completed, even the dialogue will address having not completed some of them, and in the most hilarious way. Now, for me, I think this was the least funny of the 5. There weren't like belly laugh out moments, but there were moments where I was sniggering and laughing at the cleverness of the dialogue. Sometimes it will hark back to some of the old kind of jokes or characters that they've had. I've already mentioned that they're bringing back some of those characters you might not expect to see again. But the way they reference some previous joke or a character works really well. If you've been watching the whole time, they remind you of it and set up the kind of the moment where it's going to mean something to you. I love that. The animation style is great. We have that mix. You know, they have a steam town of their own. We have amazing voice characters there that you kind of love to hate. Great characters between the fantasy and steam town, the magicalness of what's happening in hell with God, with Luci. Loved Luci in this again. One of my favorite characters for sure. Elfo is finding his own story, and he has been for a while. He's been in love with Bean for ages, but this time we really see him figure out what he needs, and that's basically what everybody goes through in this. It really feels like a love letter to the fans, between the very interesting, I guess, the background art of that's kind of 3D that syncs in with the actual animations. Forgetting how to speak, animation style that they go for. I feel like this is their best season, but mostly because they have the previous seasons to lean on. The completion of that arc, you have the emotional entanglement of the characters that you've come to really embrace. You are worried for them, so there's real tenseness there, and the score that we've come to know and love kind of seeps in. It just feels like every episode you kind of want to watch more, and when it leaves you at the end, you kind of go, I'm gonna miss that. I really enjoyed that. There is a little clip at the end of, I think it's probably like mid-credits, that I think is going to leave a lot of people confused, which I will talk about at the end. But for now, let me just say, the characters are what you expect them to be. That's more of the same. The jokes and the dialogue, if you've liked them, that's more of the same. And the story crescendo here is mostly complete. Everything that you need to be complete is completed in the best way. The battle sequences that we have here feels like a massive action sequence for 3 episodes. And that's what we've been gearing up towards, this battle between the mother and daughter relationships, between the doppelganger, between the father, between the stepmother, between the brother-in-laws. All of those situations are sorted out. And on screen, when you see the battles, they work fantastically. So I'm going to give this 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
I think it finishes solidly. Really interesting, fun watch. Character designs look fantastic. Those set pieces, you know, the background artistic designs, even though some of them are 3D, work well. The comedy is there, even though I felt like it wasn't belly out laughing, but there were moments there I was sniggering along because of the setup of previous clever dialogue moments. There's enough emotional moments there for you to be really, I guess, engrossed in what's happening on screen. And it's a send-off and love letter to the fans that have been loving it the whole time, even with some not enjoying it and being quite loud saying this is rubbish. I've enjoyed it for what it is, and I feel like it really finishes on a high. I couldn't have asked for more for the way they ended it. So, you know, 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5 I think is great. Now I'm going to talk about that mid-credit scene. It's a very short scene. So if you don't want to talk about that, you don't want any spoilers at all, then jump away. Thanks for watching. So literally they ask the drawbridge to be pulled up. And as they do, the magic seems to sparkle. I don't know if you've ever watched or played the game Borderlands. There is a sequence where a city is able to teleport and disappear.
Hit it, Scooter! Man, this is one of them moments! Catch a ride! Point at your jumps, possibly how that makes you think you've got a chance against me. A siren sucks.
Reminded me a lot of that, but what I think has happened here is that they've used the magic to completely disappear, but they're still there. It's like an illusion, or maybe just slightly out of phase, so that the writers have given themselves time and space. If they ever want to come back and do it, they can just literally drop the drawbridge and we're back for another spin-off series of a particular character, and they have all those there. But they've also wrapped it up quite nicely. I don't think they're alluding to anything like coming in the future. I think they're just giving themselves a space to jump in if they want to, but it's also like, oh, we're there but you can't see us. I think it's a great way to go. It's a nice little nod to the fans. Maybe in the future, if we feel like doing something else with these characters, we will. But for now, it's goodbye. That's what I think they were saying. Let me know your thoughts and feelings below. Thanks so much for watching. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.